We're actually not going to spend too much time in the with the intro. We got to get going. Things are a little different today. Hang on, let's hit the buttons. Oh, that's not right. There we go. Oh, for example, it's not a new background. It's just a circumstance we find ourselves in. Usually, the same room, by the way. Oh, let me see. Hang on. There we go. We can see the black mage still in the background. Usually, same room, but instead of facing this way, we're usually faced this way, that way. And that's a new normal backdrop. But you know, when I do that, it kind of creates like this weird cut in the room where it blocks everything off because my desk is honestly, it's too big. And so eventually I'm going to have to get rid of this thing. It's just bulky. I don't need it to be. And I'd also like a standing desk. That'd be awesome. But morning, Sir Hexalot. Welcome to our Friday Hawaiian shirt stream. Kind of looks like we're in a hotel room and like we're on vacation with the shirt and then like very generic looking background. But I assure you, same place. But we need to get going a little bit sooner today. Also, running on like zero sleep. So we have a guest in town. And they're staying in this room. So they may or may not barge in whenever they come back from the gym. So that's one reason. Yeah, no, Mando. Technically he's just right there, like in front of me, behind my monitors. But yeah, we have a guest in town and no sleep because my dog, she is an absolute menace when there's somebody staying at our place. And throughout the night, she'll wake up and she'll just come on down the stairs and go check on, the guest room to see where the guest is. She did that like 3 or 4 times last night. One at like 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 6 a.m. I wanted to murder her. But it didn't. That's why we're pounding our coffee now because I tried to sleep in a bit. Anyways, today's a Gw2 day. It's also another reason why I didn't want to keep going with the Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough is because we're going to get interrupted today. There's probably going to be background noise shenanigans. So I don't want that to like ruin the quality of our Dark Urge playthrough. The high quality that we set for ourselves, Also, I had to unplug and replug everything in. And like half the shit didn't work. The other half, I had to like change or like find the properties and select it again. So if shit breaks, that's why. I hate moving my stuff. It's always in a nice order. And then, whenever you change it, it's like nothing works then. Lana, morning. I also had the breakfast of champions. I had a cup of coffee and leftover pizza from last night. So we're all sorts of discombobulated this morning. But we're here. Yes. The first time watching this video, I saw that it came up and I thought, okay, let's watch it with the stream and then we'll just talk about it. And we'll probably pause a lot. Got a good old Colin here, by the way. I like Colin. I like the fact that he came back to ArenaNet because it kind of, again, we talked about it a little bit before how Yoshi P for Final Fantasy XIV, he's the director. His life goal is Final Fantasy XIV until he dies. Kind of getting that vibe from Colin now where he's an OG from ArenaNet. Left, came back, and now I'm pretty sure he's managing all 3 of the Guild Wars games. Also, Colin looks great. He looks exactly the same as he did during like Heart of Thorns when they were doing all that like press, and that was a long time ago. That was over 10 years ago. I think. Yeah, wasn't Heart of Thorns 2014? Something like that. Anyways, very excited to see Colin again talking. I wish they would do this more. Usually, I feel like the communication side of Guild Wars is ArenaNet isn't great. But I feel like I don't know. I think it helps communicate with your community when you do videos like this, just talking to them. They're gonna do this more? Excellent. Good. Very excited about that. But yeah, we're gonna watch this video. We're gonna talk about it. We're also in Guild Wars 2. I don't know if this will actually tab over, hopefully without breaking anything. No, I'd have to just disable the other thing. Okay, so that's not going to work as intended. We'll figure it out. Colin is fit. Yeah, he's a fit guy. Hopefully I look that good when I have no idea how old Colin is. I feel like he's got to be in his 50s. I don't know. Oh, very excited though. It's a good time to be a Guild Wars fan. Let me tell you. But we're all settled in. Let me know if the audio is off. This is 6 minutes long. This is the other thing. I feel like if it was a really chunky post, like I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be covering a lot about just like ore. But if we do get like a combat trailer or something like that, I have no idea how old Colin is. He could be like younger or older. I have no idea. It's hard to tell. Usually you can tell like around like the eyes and stuff, but like he looks good. He looks good. I don't know. Streamer sat here and commented on Colin's appearance for like 15 minutes. Just watch the damn video. Nobody look it up either. I don't want to know. Anyways, so yeah, we're going to watch the video here. If it was something like, again, like combat focused, I think I would just do my own like YouTube video and we'd break it down that way with a little bit of editing. But since this is 6 minutes long, so I don't think it's worth a YouTube video. Although I could stretch that to be like 20 minutes. You've played since 2019? Nice. I mean, that's over 7 years now. Impressive. Guild Wars is just one of those games where you can either like lightly play it, as in like once a month, once a week, 4 times a year, whatever, and it's great all the time. Or you can play it every single day and not run out of things to do. That's what makes Guild Wars 2, I think, really special. Anyways, let's say hello to Colin here. And if anything is off about the audio, let me know. Lana, I know you'll let me know. All right. Let's get started. So, Guild Wars 3, the setting of Guild Wars 3. Stepping into ancient ore. So hopefully this answers the question of why are we going back in time? One thing that will disappoint me is if Guild Wars 2, for whatever reason, sets up Guild Wars 3 by having some timey-wimey stuff. I won't like that. Because I don't want this Guild Wars 3 to kind of rewrite the history that we already have in Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2, if that makes any sense. Anyways, we'll find out, I guess. Let's start the video.
Hi everyone, Colin here, Guild Wars 3 Game Director.
Hi, Colin.
I want to welcome you to our first look behind the scenes on Guild Wars 3. We want to invite you into the studio with the team at ArenaNet to share with you how and why we make decisions about Guild Wars 3 and some of the exciting details about the game. This is the first in a series of videos, blogs, and announcements we'll be sharing, and we hope that as you join us, you'll agree Guild Wars 3 is shaping up to be an entirely new and special MMO for series veterans and newcomers to the Guild Wars franchise alike. Let's start at the beginning. Why set Guild Wars 3 in ore for newcomers to Guild Wars?
That was Vizier Kilbron, whatever his name is. He's like the sorcerer that read like the ancient text to essentially obliterate the Char invasion force, but in the process, he also destroyed ore and sent it to the bottom of the sea. And then he came back as a lich in Guild Wars 1. Anyways, this is beautiful, by the way, this concept art. I don't think I've ever seen this one of ore. Anyways, let's continue.
It's a fresh start, both existing games happen after, so it's a clean slate for everyone. And for our existing
Increasing volume.
Guild Wars community, this is an era central to the Guild Wars universe. The lands of Ur have waters that run deep across the franchise, from the Char invasion and the Vizier's connection to Ur in Guild Wars Reforged, to the sunken ruins of the once great nation raised from the ocean floor by the Elder Dragon Zaitan in Guild Wars 2. Ur is where the gods lived and left. So many mysteries, untold stories, and questions across 21 years of games all arise from Ur. We know for our existing Guild Wars fans, the opportunity to explore these formative years, to speculate and theory craft together, to unravel the mysteries long hidden in Tyria's past will be incredibly compelling. But it's not just a chance to experience some of the big stories lost to history.
I want the background concept art. I want that not to be blurry. I want to see what they're cooking up as far as like the art design for Guild Wars 3. Because again, we talked about it a little bit, but the first announcement trailer didn't give a strong impression of their art style. So I kind of want to know where it's coming from. Also, you guys can see this one here. This reminds me of, obviously we can't tell what it is. But does anybody else get the impression that this looks like it's from like Final Fantasy Tactics? And it kind of looks like Orban Monastery, the first like panorama fight. It kind of looks like that to me. Obviously it's not, but I'd be like, if they like focused that up and that was Final Fantasy Tactics, I'd be like, holy shit, it's all connected, man. It's not, but let's continue.
It's also the opportunity to unveil countless stories we haven't teased before, characters you've never met that bring the golden age of Ur to our timeline and to life. To our new community members, welcome to Tyria. We're expanding our reach with Guild Wars 3 and inviting a brand new generation of gamers to join us for this launch, our first in more than a decade. Players on PlayStation 5, on Steam, and around the world will be able to join those playing on their ArenaNet accounts from the very beginning, setting this up to be by far the largest day one launch in Guild Wars franchise history.
That's crazy, by the way, again, that they're... Because Guild Wars 2 is huge. That was a big launch, guys. I don't think you realize how many people tried out Guild Wars 2, because at the time it was kind of like a one of a kind MMO. It had this like mix of action combat with tap targeting, the whole dynamic event system. People loved it, and the reviews were really positive for Guild Wars 2 at launch. So the fact that they anticipate that this is going to be even bigger, excited about that. Also, no Xbox. Poor Xbox players, man. They can't catch a break.
You will all share the same world together. And as this timeline is one that's new for everyone, you don't need to have played any Guild Wars game to jump right into Guild Wars 3 and be on equal footing. Of course, if you are a new player and would like to start exploring the Guild Wars universe today, there's no better time than right now. We highly recommend you check out Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars 1.
Play our other games.
We're doubling down on our mission to support all of our Guild Wars games into the future. Guild Wars 2 will continue to grow and expand with new content, storylines, characters, and locations to come beyond the release of Guild Wars 3. We are intentionally leaving Guild Wars 2 room to breathe, free from the traditional constraints of a sequel that would follow it. We look forward to telling stories in Tyria far into the future and across several timelines with its epic lore.
They kind of said it in this right there then, but people were thinking that we weren't going to get any more like expansions for Guild Wars 2, but then they had to like re-clarify in the live stream that yeah, next year they're going to be doing the Hall of Monuments. They're going to be fixing a lot of things in Guild Wars 2 as far as like under the hood and updating some of the older maps and events, etc. And then people I assumed that after that was done, that they would then return to the yearly expansion model or something like that. And I guess other people took it the opposite way. It's like, okay, we're done after we update the game. They're re-clarifying right there that no. After we're done updating the game for next year and Guild Wars 3 is launched, we're returning to expansions, which is going to be, this is like my pocket, my wallet, my bank account. We're going to have Guild Wars 2 expansions going. We're going to have Guild Wars. I think they're gearing up to do some sort of expansions for Guild Wars 1 Reforged because it's gone so well. And then we're going to have Guild Wars 3. So that's a lot of game. Oh, you were worried they were gonna put Guild Wars 2 into maintenance mode? The way they were talking about it when they after they announced Guild Wars 3, I was like, there's no way. There's no way. Because they want to reassure people Guild Wars 2 is not going anywhere. But anyways, let's continue. We're already halfway through. I haven't done nearly enough yapping. Ooh. Hang on. Back it up. That was some clear concept art.
Lines with its epic lore.
Okay, we've seen this, seen this. We haven't seen this. Or this. Just kind of looks like... I can't really get too much out of it. It just looks like some sort of nature, very saturated. Okay, not exactly anything crazy.
Hi everyone, I'm Bobby Stein, Studio Narrative Director here at ArenaNet. This timeline is incredibly exciting for all of us on the narrative team. In the past, we've told a lot of stories where the stakes kept escalating, centered around globe-spanning, world-ending threats. Those stories have been an important part of Guild Wars, but as we started thinking about the future of the franchise, we found ourselves more interested in curating a different kind of experience.
This is Guild Wars 2.
Instead of focusing on a planet embroiled in war, we wanted to show conflicts between guilds and other forces operating in this territory.
Fuck yes. Did you hear that? Yes. To everything he just said. I don't know about you guys. I'm a little fatigued. I mean, I think this happens with every sort of MMO or ongoing RPG where they just keep raising the stakes over and over and over again, when I think it's much more grounded and relatable when you have like inner conflicts between different groups and factions like under one nation. It's not, it's not there's no global threats, or maybe there are some, but the main conflict is between these different groups. And I feel like that's so much easier to relate to and kind of get invested behind as a player. Because I'll be honest, right now in the Guild Wars 2 story, I'm following it, but I'm not like invested in it, if that makes any sense. And I like this idea of, again, returning to guild versus guilds and like the politics behind that. That is much more interesting to me, because then you have like real characters. They're not like these cosmic dragons or whatever that you really can't relate to. It's like, no, if we're fighting like another faction, we can kind of see like their point of view, and maybe they have a point, but then maybe we also have a point. And that's where it's really fun to then have that conflict where, we got to go to fisticuffs. Love that. Yes. I think this also reinforces the fact that the setting is just ore. So it's going to make the world feel even bigger, because we're going to have so much like time, and the space to play in is all ore, and it's going to be huge, that then the rest of the world seems even bigger. Oh yeah. Thank you, Bobby.
Guild Wars 3 begins from a much more grounded place, during a time of rapid change, where magic is a powerful commodity. It's a story about ore, the people who call it home, and about the Veil Wardens, a guild struggling to reclaim their prominence in a land that's changing. Instead of fighting distant threats or abstract villains, we want to make sure the things you do have an immediate impact on the people who matter. Guild Wars 3 takes place over 1,000 years before the events of Guild Wars Reforged. Ore is entering its golden age, and the human gods entrust guilds to cultivate the land and protect its inhabitants from wild beasts and competing interests.
The human gods entrust guilds to basically be guardians of the land. Okay, and we're going to be the Veil Guardians. I guess, okay, what was kind of like hanging me up and why I'm pausing is like, they're the human gods. Why do the lowland Kodans or the gremlins, the Furry Azura, why do they care? But again, actually in Guild Wars 1, the gods worked with the Forgotten, the snake-like people. So that makes sense. My thing is, because we know Ore eventually becomes like a human nation. So are we gonna? Well, obviously, I don't think we're gonna hit like a time period or the time period where like the humans basically kick all of the other races out of Or, because the Asura, right? They go back underground, and the Lowland Coden go back up north. So Terry, thank you for the sub. It might be on like actually one of my other videos. It's YouTube's alerts. I don't think make much sense, but okay. Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to be setting up kind of like the future tensions of the fact that the humans are kind of overpopulating the area and maybe pushing out the other races. I don't know. Let's keep going though. I just found it interesting that it's the human gods that are entrusting these guilds, which are made up of, I'm guessing, of multiple races, to then protect the land instead of just favoring human guilds. Maybe that'll come up. I don't know.
It's a time of rising tensions, when magic is unobtainable by most, entrusted only to guilds that the High Council and the human gods choose.
High Council. I'm guessing that's made up of like, leaders. And then the human gods also. So they're the ones who dictate who gets to use magic or not, or like who has access to magic. Okay. That plays into Abaddon, because Abaddon, he's a huge lore point of interest across Guild Wars 1 and obviously Guild Wars 2. But the whole stick with Abaddon is he gave magic to all of the races. He didn't like the fact that only certain people were being gifted magic. He basically expanded it and gave it to everybody. And that's kind of why they needed to banish him. So are we gonna hit that plot point of Abaddon's fall, like the first time, and like imprisoning him? That'd be cool. It'd be really sweet to see Abaddon and like get to talk to him and maybe work with him, because he has a point. But I guess we'll see. I like Abaddon. Abaddon's a really cool lore figure.
It's coveted by those who would misuse it, sometimes falling into the wrong hands and leading to disastrous outcomes. Above the dense forests and the wild plains, the shining city of Arra floats majestically against the clouds, visible from every direction. It's a source of comfort to some, and a threat to those who have fallen from divine favor.
Divine favor? Ooh, hang on. We got a lot of concept art here. Just a lot of, like a beast there. That looks like a whale. Underwater combat confirmed? I think so. Those kind of look like titans or destroyers, something like that. Very elemental. Oh, guys, if you haven't played Guild Wars 1, you gotta. It is so good. It's different, but it's really good. Okay. So I like that the fact that the people fall out of divine favor, and then the capital city sounds like it's going to be like literally the center of the map. And then we're going to be exploring all around it. But we can always see the city, if that makes any sense. That'd be cool. What else can we see? What is this here? These people. Because the gods have like their own faction of people that kind of follow them. And Abaddon's, his people, they're Marganites. That's their name. And they're like sailors. So I wonder if we'll see them. We probably will. That'd be cool. Man, this gets me so excited. There's so much like like what they're talking about, where there's a bunch of lore that's like mentioned in just like, the timeline. And then you see like remnants of it in like Guild Wars 1. And I guess a little bit of Guild Wars 2. That they can just show us kind of like those things in their prime. Which is very exciting, because the Marganites are very cool looking in Guild Wars 1.
The city's shadow. Farmers tend land and livestock to sustain a growing population. But rising tensions and unexpected hardships have everyone seeking help. Most turn to the Order of the Veil, the oldest guild on Or, to aid them in their time of need. However, recent events have caused the Veil Wardens to lapse in their duties. Not out of dereliction, but from exhaustion. There's simply too much land to cover and too few hands to pitch in. We're building a version of Or that's more layered and more detailed, more interconnected than anything we've done before. It's a world that we can continue to build on and evolve in meaningful ways as the game grows, breathing new life into familiar spaces and characters, and giving you more reasons to return. We can't wait to tell you more about Guild Wars 3.
What the hell is these things? Like cat imps? Elemental cat imps. Kimps. Yes, that's what they're called. Okay, they look cool.
But you'll have to wait for future reveals to learn more about the lore, characters, gameplay, and systems we've been cooking up. Until then, may the Six watch over you.
I love that. May the Six watch over you. Human gods, baby. I like that they're leaning into the human gods. Okay, that was interesting. Okay, hang on. Go back to Guild Wars. Let's go back to Guild Wars 2 timeline. So, we need to go to BC. Oh, we're going the wrong way. When do the humans give everybody? Here. Abaddon gives magic to the races of Tyria. And then starts a whole war. So it's obviously going to be before this. Ascalon is probably going to be established. Oh, King Doric as well. Got the Morganites right here. It's going to be somewhere in this chunk. This is probably where the game's going to begin. That's going to be so fun. Desmina becomes the first follower of Grenth, but we saw Doom in the first like tapestry. Are we not going to be dealing with Doom at all? I don't know how well you guys could see them. Zoom in on the... Where was I? Right here. Right here. In this time chunk. I hope they mention Ascalon. I mean, I hope that we're spending a lot of time in Ore, but then these envoys, ambassadors of Ascalon come, and we kind of get to see what the Ascalonians look like as far as what they looked like when they first were established, as far as like their armor and stuff. And then they like hint at, ooh, there's going to be an Ascalon expansion. That'd be awesome. So it's after Doom was deposed. Okay. I guess maybe they're showing the fact that the god pantheon, what they were when they first. Okay, it's after Grenth's takeover. Damn. Kind of want to see Doom and what he was all about. But all good, all good. See, we got the Morganites here settling on the coastline. Again, like sea people. Sea people. Okay. This is definitely... Okay, yeah, you're thinking like right around here. That'd be cool. This lists a story here. This is a good one. This is like a scripture you find in Guild Wars 1. So yeah, somewhere around here is when the game's going to take place. I'm just wondering, okay, so yeah. If it takes place here, this is when Ore becomes an independent nation. I think this is probably the time period when it becomes like predominantly like humans. Like it's a human nation. Oh man, but look at this. If it is around here, it's going to take like 40 years for us to then defeat Abaddon and imprison him. So maybe we won't see that history. Doom's followers. Ooh, that'd be cool. Like they're like a cult that's still around. I love me a good cult plot. And then when do the Bloodstones come into effect? Because that's another big plot point is... So when did they make the Bloodstones? Is it... Because they realize that magic it's too rampant. It's causing everybody to... Here we go. They put all the magic into the Bloodstones. Okay. Interesting. So this all happens like in 1 year. Like Abaddon betrays them. He gives the magic to everybody. And then they try to like kind of pull back on the magic and put them in these Bloodstones instead. Okay. Damn, I want to see this plot, like on an all-out war with Abaddon, and how that all transpired. You know, in Guild Wars 2, you guys remember it was at the launch when they first did the fractals. We had a choice in voting for the next captain in Lion's Arch, and it was either Ellen McCain or Nashblade or whatever his name is. Anyways, if we chose the Char, we would have got a fractal that took place during Abaddon's fall. But we chose the other one because her like buffs for the game were like kind of better. And we got that one. I forgot what her fractal was, but it wasn't as good. And I always wonder, man, what would that fractal have been like? I'm surprised they haven't gone back and gave us that fractal, because they had to have like started some sort of development on it. So I feel like it would have been really easy. So that's interesting. Okay. Also looking at the convergence timer, we're going to try to catch this 11 o'clock one. So about in an hour. So this was a good video. I don't know if there's too much we can add to it. I like that it's going to be more grounded. I like the fact that they have this currency on magic instead. I voted for Nashblade as well. So I was very disappointed that we didn't get that, because I was like, dude, guys, this fractal is going to be sick if we get this. This is a big lore moment. No, I think what did she give us? She gave us like cheaper teleport cost or something like that. What else can we divulge from this? Not much, I guess, but very exciting, very exciting. Yeah, I hope. Do we know if these are going to be like weekly? Hang on. Content, reforged, period of time the gods have left the world. Okay. No, they don't say. But yeah, if these are every week, that'd be great. Try to get on Mighty T-Bot's tea time. Oh, I don't think that's gonna happen. I appreciate that. That'd be cool. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I like the teapot. He's just somebody who's like stuck with the game for a very, very long time. Anyways, we're gonna do convergences to kind of show off. Well, there's a couple of reasons. Reason number one: if I'm gonna be playing a lot of Guild Wars again, I have to master the craft of the Ranger again. Problem is, my Ranger doesn't have the convenience of legendary armor like my warrior, my heavy armor classes do. So I think I have to get my Ranger legendary armor. And the best way to do that, to get it in big chunks, is to do convergences. Why not? You talked the other day about a new player the other day. Annie's not like new though. She's a WoW content creator that's been around for a long time. She's also pretty popular. So if they keep doing like these lore roundups, these videos, well, I mean, we'll always cover them. Yeah, we'll cover them. I don't know if maybe... I'm trying to think how we're going to do it. Because if we want to make, like, real strides in the... as far as, like, the content side of Guild Wars 2, I think we need to make, like, real YouTube videos. Because, let's be honest, streaming for YouTube, it's good. But it doesn't drive, like, subscribers and stuff, if that makes any sense. Whereas actual edited videos, those tend to do a lot better. I mean, right, if I somehow did convince Mighty Teapot to let me on and persuade him, then you're right, more people would know that I'm a Guild Wars 2 veteran. Pip, I kind of have the same thought process where I just kind of want to get everything in order where I can hit the ground running for when the Hall of Monument system comes in, and then I feel like I'm just gonna like no life it. Kind of similar. We're not gonna talk too much about Destiny 2, but Destiny 2 just had its last update, and I feel like I've been like, my head's in the sand just playing it, just tunnel visioned on it because it's the last update. So I'm like, I gotta get my time in now because there's so many other things coming down the pipeline. Hey, Bone, I came through your list. Awesome. Good. I mean, the idea is just like, you just have to pump content as a content creator. And unfortunately, given my circumstances, my schedule's all over the place. So you're saying the Hall of Monuments brought you back? Yeah, I feel like that it had that effect on a lot of people. And one of the other things from the live stream they were talking about is the fact that the Hall of Monuments system in Guild Wars 2 will keep Guild Wars 2 populated. Or at least it'll help it like bump it up, because they saw that in Guild Wars 1, people are still going back to Guild Wars 1 just to get the Hall of Monuments buffs. So it's a great way to keep the community alive, essentially. And people kind of like cross-pollinating between games. The other thing is, I remember them mentioning that it's not confirmed, and they might not do it, but they are thinking about having the Hall of Monuments system from Guild Wars 1 also somehow carrying into Guild Wars 3. Maybe they make like a whole new set of achievements in Guild Wars 1 that then could feed into Guild Wars 3, something like that. I need to... Okay, so for Guild Wars 1, I do not have gods walking amongst mere mortals. I think that's it. I don't have that because I'm like scatterbrained when it comes to alts, so I could never like focus on playing one profession and doing like all the dungeons, the titles, etc. So that's been a real downfall of my Guild Wars 1 time, and I still can't focus on one character in Guild Wars 1. Pep, yeah, where is the new Hall of Monuments going to be? Is it going to be in this godforsaken achievement panel? This is probably the worst part about Guild Wars 2. This achievement panel, everything being like shoved in here as far as quest. Blech. You should, yeah. So Guild Wars 1, the Ranger's a lot of fun, but you're not. So what I like about Guild Wars 1 Ranger is the fact that you can play like a Guild Wars 2 Ranger with your pet, but you also have the choice not to have a pet at all, and you could just be like a lone ranger, well, in a party, but still a lone ranger, and you can focus on that. But Guild Wars 2, unfortunately, it forces you to kind of play with your pet, because that's like its whole profession fantasy. So I hope in Guild Wars 3, a little bit more flexibility, maybe not solely tie all the profession skills for the ranger to your pet. Make them have a build without your pet. They kind of do it a little bit in Guild Wars 2. We do have something like Soul Beast, but still, it's pretty pet dependent. Oh, we logged in. We get our astral tokens. I also realized that last stream for Guild Wars 2, we got all of our tokens, and I didn't pick something to buy. We had like we were like pretty close to cap. Anyways, we got the legendary starter kit here. So this helps you get your first legendary. It gives you the precursor, and it also gives you one of the harder or one of the more expensive items that you need to like throw all together to make it. I got that, and I mainly was just getting it for that harder to get item that comes with it. It's called either Gift of Magic or Gift of Might. So now that's what I spent my my tokens on. We will be streaming Guild Wars 2 at least once a week and doing our weeklies on stream, just to keep up with the game and make sure that we're progressing and things like that. Let me check the timer again and make sure that it's not coming up every time I'm tabbing over to it. That is like one of the things about Guild Wars 2. You kind of you got to keep an eye on the timer for events. So we have a convergence up in an hour. A little bit under an hour. I also like the easy to play classes, which is exactly why I play a warrior, because the rotation is super simple. You could even dilute it down a little bit further. Let's go. Let me show you how easy warrior can be to play. Go to the aerodrome. Because me, I'm all about give me the least amount of button presses that give me the biggest results, if that makes any sense. So then I can just focus on the, oh no, Kronos, I wasn't kidding, dude. Every Friday is Hawaiian shirt day. Does it look like we're kind of like on vacation with like the bland background, like we could be in a hotel room? I thought about that. I'm like, damn, we kind of just look like we are really on vacation. This is where we're going. This is where basically you go to test out your builds and shit in game without like a third party that tells you how much damage you're doing. This is kind of the place to test everything. But let me show you how brain dead we can make our setup here. Oh my god, what is up with this color scheme? Not important. Also, our build, what happened here? There we go. No, there we go. And we want you. Now it's complete. Perfect, okay. Do you know... Mako, do I know how to fix the login for the server error? No. I didn't even know there was one. What's it giving you? So spawn our golem. Average. Weak. Please spawn my golem. So for warrior, I am just going to use my greatsword, and that is it. And the whole idea with this greatsword build that I have is it gives quickness to everybody, but I'm also doing competitive damage. And also it's really, really simple to play. So the first thing we're going to do is a headbutt. And this is immediately going to shoot our adrenaline to max. And then we just want to make sure our adrenaline stays topped off and we keep using this ability as often as possible. And we'll kind of see how it plays out. So open up the fight. Rock our thing. Hit it again. It's going to come up in another second. Do it again. We could get a little more fancier using our other abilities. But again, this is one weapon the entire time. I don't even think we needed the headbutt there, but our heal ability also brings it up immediately, so you can like double use it. And the whole time, I'm spamming quickness to everybody else. So that's kind of our playstyle here. Very simple. I'm trying to think if we're missing anything else, because I feel like our damage is actually a little bit lower than what it should be. Because most of the time with most builds, you want to be swapping your weapon. Oh, you know what it is. Most of the time when you're simulating combat like this, you should be maxing out all the buffs. So if we go back here, you can actually give yourself all the boons, because in a group setting, boons you come by boons really easily. And so our job here is quickness, which is this one. Gain a burst of speed when entering berserk mode. Okay, so yeah, we didn't have this on. This is what we need on. Necro is also super easy to play. Like one of the easiest professions as well. Similar to warrior here. Not a lot of button presses, but you get huge numbers. Let's do this again, but the right way. I was supposed to have this ability on. Remove my golem. Okay, good. Now you're supposed to come here.
A deadly raid squad is a happy raid squad. Practice your skills using our state-of-the-art golems.
And there's an Asura here, of course. All their technology. Adjust self. Add boons. All of them.
Good.
So this is essentially what your team's going to be giving you. You should have somebody who gives you alacrity. You should have somebody who's giving you a lot of might, and then fury. We also give ourselves little bits of those boons, but our big ticket here is quickness. There's a quickness berserker warrior. It's very powerful. And again, not a lot of button presses. Oh man, we just took off all our boons. There we go. Now let's do that again. Spawn a golem, average. Spawn my golem. So let's get in there, let's try this again, and kill them faster. Yeah, those numbers are much better. And right here is usually when you would probably want to switch your weapon and start that rotation, but I'm lazy, so I'm not going to do that. And if we can get this under a minute, as far as when we kill this thing, I'm a happy boy then. There we go, 47 seconds. Good enough. And if we had an actual like third-party program that told us our damage, we could see the actual numbers. I think that would be around 20k. Like the way damage works in this game is, and it's 20k, like I think it's per second, but around 45k is like the top tier damage, and then average players somewhere around like 20k. And then you'll see actually most of the community does like under 20k.
That feels good.
So take it for what you will. But if you care about damage and, you know, contributing to your team, having a damage meter or coming in here and testing out your stuff, not a bad idea. You can totally avoid all this. Not a big deal. Because most of the content we're going to be doing is group content. I'm talking about like 50 people. And it's really hard to see your personal like contribution to the team when the party's that big. If that makes any sense. It's only really in raids and then the harder fractals that you maybe want to start thinking, okay, how good is my build? Can I do anything to make it better? But there's for every single profession, there are super simple, basic setups that are effective for beginner players. And then you also have the really like high skill cap builds where the damage rotation, you got a lot of inputs. And ideally, those are the builds that do the most damage because you're doing the most, but it's not always true. There are some builds that are just stupid easy, like Necromancers, who they don't have many inputs as far as what they're pressing, but they are like top of the charts when it comes to damage. Same with Thieves, Amalgams. I think they're the top dogs right now when it comes to damage. But Warriors are just fine. Everybody has their place in the sandbox, in the meta, and they all work. The game is relatively well balanced, I would say. Balance is always a tricky topic. Engineer is the one profession I hate in this game. I don't know why. I mean, you can see in my character screen here, I've got everybody except for an engineer. I just don't like it. I don't know why. You know, you play that one class. That one class, you're just like, I don't like how this feels. I don't like how it looks. I don't like what they're about. And I just can't force myself to play it. Do I want eggs, breakfast potatoes? Do I want breakfast potatoes and eggs? No. I ate the pizza. That's the wife in the other room. You can probably overhear her. But okay. That's that out of the way. What do we got for... There's Dragon Bash going on. And there's also... I want to see if there's any events that I want to hit. Really quick. Okay, there's the shaman. Let's go do the shaman real quick. It's either that or PvP. And I ain't doing PvP, I'll tell you that much. Look, one of my guildmates is already there. Good, let's go get him. Hopefully, the next couple blog posts they do. Okay, we have enough people here. I was wondering if I was running into like a dead meta event. Hopefully the next couple blog posts they do, they maybe give us an indication of when they're going to give us like a combat trailer or more gameplay of actually in-game footage. That I'm really excited for. Like in this party here, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You're gonna win the event. You're gonna get your contribution points. But it's a good time actually to also practice your rotation, just to make sure you don't have a lot of downtime. Ow. We can back up a bit. Every year at the hologram event, there are people that push away the mobs. Yeah. Ranger longbow, that ability, I need to back up. I am not paying attention to that tornado right there. Ranger longbow, and I got massacred by ice. The push ability, the point blank shock, that is like solely for PvP. And yes, people use it in PvE all the time. And absolutely, like, you know, because the idea is you want to clump all the enemies together, and then you want to burn them down. Oh, you know what? We talked about this earlier, but actual indicators like danger circles, etc., don't show up unless you have your settings, I think, on high or something like that. It's really bizarre. Or maybe this guy just doesn't have it. Now we're pumping damage. The other thing is, if we had a healer, we would not also have to worry about going in there and going absolute apeshit with damage. So in the open world like this, instead of prioritizing damage, which is what we're doing right now, we could easily slot in some more utility picks for survivability. Because we kind of want to be dependent on ourselves. That's kind of the balance with Gw2. It's like, is this an open world build? Is this a group build? When you rebind your skills or your hotkeys, does it do it for every single character? Because I always think about that. I'm like, this would make it so much easier for damage rotations, but is that then going to screw up my damage rotation on my Guardian? Because if it's character bound, then I will definitely retool my Ranger hotkeys. See, that's the problem. That would be a quality of life I would love for them to do. Damn, this boy's tanky. Usually you just dominate these guys. What is going on? I wonder if is this a result of everybody being nerfed? It wasn't that long ago with the balance patch that they literally took 15% damage off of everybody. Which 15% as far as like a balance standpoint, that's a lot. Get him, boys, get him. On your mech, you only press. Oh, you know what? That reminds me. I know how good machinists are. My buddy plays a machinist. He's like, yeah, my bot does all the damage. I don't have to do anything. I'm like, that does sound pretty good. That sounds exactly what I would like to play. But then, isn't the Jade bot, which is that big, ugly green eyesore? Alright, we almost got him. Damn, I kind of want to go to the other world event, see if, like, this is usual, like, for how long this guy's taking. Nope. Break out of that. Charge him down. I do like how mobile the warrior is as well. Okay, there we go. Now, really the big reason to do world events like that, materials. Always materials. That is the driving force behind everything in Guild Wars. So in Final Fantasy XIV, other people's pets, like their Jade, like if they had Jade bots, blah, you can make them tiny, so you don't have to see them too much, and that's a great quality of life I wish this game had. All right, next up is Claw of Jormak. Oh, that's a good one, which is over here. And kind of like Tequatl, it's instead of an undead dragon, it's a big old ice dragon. And you can see everybody just kind of follows the event train as far as which world boss is next. Kill the one, go to the next one. Kill the other one, go to the next one. And because it's all on a timer, everybody knows which one is next and where to go. I'm gonna grab this Vista while I'm here. Unfortunately, my warrior, even though I'm kind of playing them a lot lately, I don't have map completion done. I have map completion done on my ranger, my guardian, and my thief. So I've done world completion 3 times, and I feel like that's enough. World completion sucks. It doesn't suck. It sucks doing it many times. Put it that way. While we're here, do we see any Coden? Because we're gonna get them as a new playable race in Guild Wars 3. I'm curious how many people are gonna play, because we have the average people, humans in Guild Wars 3. Then we have the small folk with the Asura, and then we have the big burly Coden bears. I wonder what the player split is gonna be between those 3. Obviously, I think majority of people are gonna play humans, but who comes in second? Yeah, you can get 6 legendary weapons. I think I'm on my last one for map completion. Because I had the longbow, so I used one on that. I had the Juggernaut, I used one on that. Flameseeker Prophecy, yep, that. And then Bolt. I think I'm missing one. Oh, and then Twilight. So yeah, I have one more left, and I want to use it on my axe. That's another thing I want to do during the streams, is start to get my stuff ready for a legendary axe. The only thing is, one of the big components to a legendary weapon is the precursor. And this legendary starter kit, I think it features 4 legendary weapons. Anyways, the axe wasn't, whatchamacallit, it wasn't listed this time around, so I have to wait till the next Wizard's Vault to get it from here, essentially for free. Otherwise, I would have to buy the precursor, which actually, let's see how much the precursor is. There's 2 legendary axe. What is the precursor called? So it's Frostfang. That's the legendary. Oh, it's just called Tooth of Frostfang. Okay, let's see how much that is. Open up the market. Tooth of Frost. Oh shit, that's cheap. Alright, gang. Looks like we're making ourselves an axe. This is extremely cheap. You know what we'll do? So, what I love about the economy and the market board for Guild Wars 2 is the fact that you can put in a buy order, which then somebody selling this weapon can fulfill. And it's going to be cheaper to wait. Or I can buy it instantly for the price that people have listed and that's already on the market for 19 gold. But this is a 6 gold difference, and I'm a cheapskate. So what I'll do is I'll put it in order, and to make sure I'm first on the list, I'll just up the price by a silver and put it in. So now my gold goes to the market, and then eventually if somebody gets this and they want to sell it, instantly I'm first in line. Damn, we're going to be making ourselves a legendary. Ah, I got an early copy to Guild Wars 3. I wish. We are talking a lot about Guild Wars 3. It depends on the price for the items. If there is like at least like a 2 gold difference, yeah, I put it on like the order. I'm not gonna like worry about. I'll wait. I'm willing to wait to earn a little bit more money or to buy something for cheaper. Oh, on the tapestry? And do we have that up? No, I think it's 2 humans. Let's look. Guild Wars 3 tapestry. I wonder if anybody has just the art up. There we go. How do I pull that up on screen? There we go. So yeah, the tapestry here. This is 100% a Coden. This looks like a human. This looks like, this is the Yasura looking thing, the gremlin. And then, I think this is just another human. Maybe it'll be like a different humanoid variation, kind of like the Sylvari. Sylvari and humans. One's green and plant-like, but as far as like their skeletal structure, they're both the same, essentially. So maybe it'll be something, maybe like a curved ball, because it is odd. It would be odd to have just 2 humans on here.
Get those cannons ready.
But I don't think it looks like a char. Listen, I was peddling that this was a dwarf, but as like the trailer went on, I was like, okay, that's not a dwarf, which I think would be sick, because we didn't get a dwarf in obviously Guild Wars 2. I'm gonna grab some food that everybody's putting down. You see the dragon overhead? And I'm way behind. I'm coming, team. There we go. Okay, here comes the big dragon.
It'll be coming over those mountains any second. I just know it.
Let me call back some of these people because I can even feel it on my performance end. There's like nothing you can do when there's just a crap ton of people on screen. That's a little bit better. The hood covering the rider could be anything. Could be.
Fire at will. Force it out of the
What if it
sky.
is a char under there? That'd be funny. I wonder if we'll see char. We have to see char.
Thermal release complete.
They'll probably be like an antagonistic force because obviously during that time humans and char are not getting along at all. We got another one of our weeklies done too. Even though we already finished ours, you can go over the cap obviously, and that's 50 astral acclaim, which is awesome. But there's the Claw of Jormag. He's a big old ice dragon. And we're gonna get up there. Everybody's got their siege turtles because they do good damage against these walls. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna brute force this. You can see all these people dying. We might die ourselves. God, okay, our heal is not meant for being outside of combat. It's kind of like one of those healing abilities where the more damage we do, the more we heal ourselves. But if we're not doing any damage, then obviously the heal sucks. I'm gonna wait back here. Oh no, it's down. Let's get in there, grab an arm mount, and then just fly in there. I'm hoping for a proto Sylvari as well. I agree. Because that was one of the things that was convincing me it was going to be, Guild Wars 3 was going to be in the future, is the fact that why would ArenaNet abandon their new race, you know what I mean? It's kind of like their baby. Also, I think our group last map sucked. Because we just melted this world boss. I'm going to stay over here, though. And we have... I need to keep an eye on the time. 27 minutes for the convergence. Yeah, Safari are way too unique. Like, yeah, sure, other, like, fantasy properties have, like, a plant race, but... Safari, they, like, went all in on. Especially, like, at nighttime, how they have that, like, bioluminescent glow to them. And then their lore. I love their lore. This is another problem with my build right now. Again, meant for group play, but I have no range weapon. And getting up here, I think is going to kill me. Let's find out. Nope, we're alive. Okay. Oh, and down goes that world boss. See ya. Oh, I'm on somebody's turtle. Sorry, bud. Now, there are super rare drops. I think from every world boss.
Affirmative.
Let's salvage. Let's get some materials, some more ectos, because if we're gonna be crafting a legendary, I don't think we're gonna be doing it on this stream today. Because I need to look at what we're gonna get.
Nice gear.
Or what we're gonna need, because legendary weapons are very much a huge investment financially. And luckily, if you kind of like don't have your mind on using your materials, you're just building them up over and over and over again, and then you have like this huge stockpile for eventually when you do want to pull the trigger on making another legendary, that hopefully you don't have to do like too much grinding or you need to buy too many materials. That's generally how I get my legendaries. It's just I just play a lot, not really actively chasing anything, but the game continually like rewards you with materials. That way when I do want a legendary, it's not too painful. But if you are just going down the list, holy shit, God help you. it's a lot of materials, it's a lot of grinding, that's a lot of gold. Especially if you're doing... So like the legendaries come out in like generation versions, the Gen 1 versions. There's no difference other than aesthetics, but the Gen 1 versions are pretty cheap, comparatively. You have Nevermore. I need to get Nevermore. Yeah, they're just so expensive. Not to mention legendary armor. So there's two ways to get legendary armor. The first generation of legendary armor was you need to do the raids. You need to get a currency from there, and that's one way you can do it. And that's the fastest way to get legendary armor. The second way is by these convergences and rifts that they added with Secrets of the Obscure. And this makes legendary armor available to essentially everybody, because locking legendary armor behind raids, a little exclusive, right? But the second set here takes longer to get, but again, everybody can get it. And so that's where I got my legendary armor. Also, they hand out like the gloves for free with just doing like this little bonus event. So there is that. But yeah, I need to start working towards a second legendary armor set for my ranger, so I can become the ultimate ranger before Guild Wars 3 rolls around. Next meta event. Hang on. Timeline. No. We're done talking about lore. So the fire elemental's next. Got it. Which is down over here. Oh, there's probably another Heart of Thorns meta event going on. So like these are, I'm doing core Tyria world events. But in the Maguma Waste over here, the Heart of Thorns meta events are all going off at like the same time. And then Path of Fire really doesn't have too many meta events, but again, they're going off on the same time too, so there's always players in different parts of the world. When you started, legendary armor options you had raids, PvP, and World vs. World. That's right, World vs. World has their own legendary armor as well. Oh, you don't have Secrets of the Obscure, or you don't have Ganthier Wilds? Secrets of the Obscure is amazing as far as a quality of life expansion. Highly recommend getting it. Aren't they all on sale too? This is the race we're getting in Guild Wars 3. I mean, they don't look like polar bears. They're gonna look like kind of like grizzly bears. But yeah, bear people. And you have them here in Guild Wars 2. We can't play them though. The Coden, they do look badass. I'm a bear. You don't have anything after End of Dragons. Do you get the Wizard's Vault or no? Because this is just another like amazing quality of life for like casual players, and then earning some really valuable things without much effort. So I would highly recommend checking out the price on this. Oh, you have the Wizard's Vault, but some things are locked. Okay. Yeah, I would consider getting this. It's good. I mean, it's just great quality of life. You get to do convergences, which are fun. I kind of want to go over the whole spiel about convergences. Let's go to where we're actually going to be getting into the convergence, which, let me check the list. I think it's the Ganthier Wilds one. Yeah, it is. Okay. So we'll go to that map. You know what? I don't have that map unlocked. Hang on. Where do you unlock it? Or where do you go in? I think it's... Do you go from over here? No, you use the Wizard's Tower. I made that comment about how like traditional wizards aren't in Guild Wars 2, and somebody's like, you do know we have a like literally a Wizard's Tower. I'm like, I know, but it's not the same. Like, these aren't Gandalf wizards. They're like guardian wizards. I don't know. You look at their aesthetic and you tell me this is Gandalf, and I'll call you a liar. So like, this is their setting. These are like these wizards. And like, they have like their own faction of like rift hunters with aviators and shit. Some of them look wizardy, but again, not like Gandalf or like a D&D wizard. There should be a portal taking me to the map. Let me get there ahead of time. Okay, you're waiting for a sale. You missed the last one. That's smart, because they're, again, the rifts, they're a great system. Is this Portal to Lion's Arch? No, I don't want to go there. No, this place is cool. It's a little crowded. Look at my settings real quick. Shadows on Ultra. I don't think that's a huge difference. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this like running buttery smooth. Okay, I don't want to go there either. There's got to be a way to get to the lowlands from here without doing the story.
Have you heard the news?
I wonder, they've got to have some...
I'm not convinced people can hear.
No, I don't want to go to that one either. They have to have some connection to the wizards in Guild Wars 3 as like maybe like their origin. My last guess is somewhere up here for the portal. No, that's the portal to the conversions. That's a strike mission portal. Damn, do I have to do the story to get to the convergence? That's a kick in the nuts. Well, looks like we're playing on our Guardian instead. Swap over, very alt-friendly. Luckily, pretty competent on my Guardian as well. kind of like our paladin. I don't think we're gonna have a guardian in Guild Wars 3. That's another thing I want them to, or I'm excited for them to release information on, is what is the profession lineup gonna look like? Because the professions in Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, they are tied to like the lore and these institutions that have kind of like mastered a craft of magic. Because Guardian is like a mixture of monk and warrior. And I also think they said something about like a ritualist too in one of the books. Which in Guild Wars 3 in that time, that's not like a combination they've spun up. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Okay, it's a portal in Divinity's Reach. Hang on, where is this portal? We'll see if we can get back there on our warrior, because we got 15 minutes. Oh, it's there. Okay, let's go see if our warrior has that. Yeah, no classes after Guild Wars 1. Lana, you already know you're gonna like at least one of them. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking like, what are they gonna do? A primary profession, secondary profession system? I think somebody mentioned, I don't know where I heard this, because I don't think they said it during any of the interviews, but somebody said they're going back to us unlocking skills out in the wild. So kind of like Guild Wars 1, where you hunt down skills. And you kind of like make your own build. Kind of like a Pokemon system, right? Where you go out into the world and you catch your skill or you learn it, and then you build like a deck out of it. That would be really cool. I kind of missed that from Guild Wars 1. I don't know what I prefer. I don't think I have a preference as far as what they do. There it is. So we can't go here. Sick. I say that, but it's actually not letting us in. You gotta be kidding me, game. Alright, fine. I'll play my Guardian. I'm just as good at my Guardian. Yeah, if they do dual class, dual profession, I'll be very happy with that. No, Lana, they had Vault, not Walt. Lana, they had a primary profession you picked, and then you also got to pick a secondary profession, which any secondary profession. So you can mix and match so many things. Walter White. Let's go to. So this is where the convergence is gonna start, and for public convergences, these are like instant group content for 50 people. So you go into this big ass map, almost like an open world map, basically is, and you do various activities with 50 other people to complete, the objectives and eventually like kill a big boss. I love convergences. It's like they took world bosses, but then like turned it up to, dialed it up to have like little objectives, and they take like 15 to like 30 minutes. Convergences are really cool. I think Guild Wars 1 tackles the whole how do we make content for like an MMO population of people, which again, 50 people. How do we do that? And I think they did a really good job with convergences. I just think the only thing is I wish there were more. Anyways, we got our cat commander. This is the problem right here. Look at all these stupid Jade bots taking up my screen. Also, these Char. No, I'm not going to taunt them. Yeah, Guild Wars 1 is almost like a deck builder. So, for example, how do I explain this? Okay, so in Guild Wars 1, you have a warrior. And a warrior has these different trait lines, kind of like here, where you'll have like different trait lines. Let me just go ahead and minimize all these. We'll use Guardian as an example. So say in Guild Wars 1, you picked a Guardian. You get all these trait lines, right? And let's say that Honor here, this is your primary trait line. No other profession can get it, even if they have a secondary profession as a guardian. Your primary profession has to be a guardian for you to get the honor trait line. So in Guild Wars 1, the warrior, their primary trait line is strength. You have to be a primarily a warrior to be able to use that trait line and all those abilities tied to it. And those are usually the most like powerful abilities for like everybody's profession as far as like their primary trait line. Usually coincides with like the strongest skills. That's what gives basically reason for people to pick, you know, the specific professions and not just have one profession kind of do everything, if that makes any sense. So yeah, in Guild Wars 1, when you pick a secondary profession, you don't get that primary trait line for the secondary profession you pick, but you get all the other ones. So there's a lot of mixing and matching you can do. But again, if you want to be like the strongest ranger, the strongest warrior, you have to pick, you know, either one of those as your primary. I'm hoping they do something like that in Guild Wars 3. Maybe play around with that system, because there's a lot of freedom with it. You know, you could have your primary ranger and then pair them with warrior. You could have your primary ranger and then pair them with the ritualist, and then you get like spirit bows. So it's very interesting. I didn't do a good job explaining it. I'd have to open up Guild Wars. I'd have to open up Guild Wars 1 to really do a good job at it, but just know it's a very fun system. Very fun system. You get to do a lot of mixing and matching. Again, a lot of deck building, because Guild Wars 1 has like hundreds and hundreds of skills. I think they're up to like, I'd have to look at the number. I want to say like 500 skills. Now granted, a lot of those skills are very niche. Some could say just bad. There are like metas, but just the vast quantity of skills to go hunt down and learn, it's just cool. You can really tailor make your character to do whatever you want. And then on top of that, they have almost like reputation skill lines as well that everybody gets access to. That just makes your character even stronger. They're called like PvE skills, and you're like limited to like 3 of them because they're that powerful. Yeah, it makes a diverse population. It's good. Eventually we'll do some Guild Wars 1 on the channel, because I still play it today. It's on Steam. Very, very easy to open. But we're all waiting right here for the convergence. Again, when a convergence starts, you want to get in there as soon as possible, because the maps are limited to 50, and then they spin up a new map, and eventually you'll maybe get like 2 full maps, and then that third one is like everybody's like leftovers. So it's just like, Dale Walker, welcome brother, welcome. Thank you for the follow. We here, we like us some Guild Wars. But that third map will be like the leftovers, and it won't be a full map, so it'll take longer to complete. So you really want to get in there as soon as the timer hits, well, 11 a.m. in my case here. So that's why we're waiting, and that's why everybody else here is waiting as well. Now, what about the fashion game for Guild Wars 3? Like Guild Wars 2, the aesthetic you can see, very shiny. A lot of shiny things. Everybody's very sparkly. Me? No. I'm an Ascalonian warrior, and I have like a buster sword. Anyways, but everything else, everybody's glowing. I'm kind of hoping, because we're going back in time, where, you know, there's magic, but magic in Guild Wars 2 is kind of like out of control. Like, for example, in Guild Wars 1, to cast or use any magic, which I hope they go back to this. This is lore. This is lore as far as how magic works. In Guild Wars 1, to cast any magic, you needed a foci, something to channel through as far as an item. So you couldn't just use your hands. You needed like a stick, a charm, a rosary, whatever, a sword, a shield. You needed something to channel magic through. And that's lore. But by the time of Guild Wars 2, there's so much magic in the world and stuff that you can just use your hands now. So I'm hoping in Guild Wars 3, they don't forget that little nugget of information, because I thought that was I think that's great for world building, because imagine a law and justice system where, you know, when you arrest somebody, you put them in shackles, and you know that they can't cast any magic because their hands are bound and they don't have like access to anything. That makes it more clever about the world feeling grounded. But if you have a law and justice system where people are shackled and they can still use magic, that sucks. That kind of makes things a little bit messy as far as making things believable. Anyways, mark me, in Guild Wars 3 they better have a justification for how you cast magic, essentially. Yeah, it should be much more basic. That's why I was saying about like needing a foci to channel through it. Dale, never played it yet, but need looking into. You played WoW for a few years. I've also played WoW. I have a lot of opinions on WoW, but we don't need to share those today. Guild Wars, on the other hand, fantastic. All of them. Well, hopefully all of them. Guild Wars 1, phenomenal. Guild Wars 2, super active, amazing game. And hopefully Guild Wars 3 also. And then we'll have 3 games in like the same universe. Oof, we're gonna be eating good. Well, I'm hoping the aesthetic in Guild Wars 3 is maybe like a little more primitive, but I want to be able to make my Ascalonian eventually. I like plate armor, so I want to be able to make that with like my heavy, whatever heavy armor profession they have. Again, we don't know that, but I will also be probably maining a ranger. I will be the ranger guy, the ranger Hawaiian shirt guy. That's the plan. That's the Guild Wars 3 plan. And I hope they have different playstyles. Like in Guild Wars 1, a ranger, your primary weapon is a bow and arrow. You can use other weapon sets, especially if you say have a secondary profession as a warrior. You know, it makes sense actually to swap to a sword maybe sometimes. Not often, but again, your main primary weapon is the bow. In Guild Wars 2, we have all these different weapon options. Ooh, my guardian, I have a bow on. Why are you yelling at me, character? I hope in Guild Wars 3 they make they let all the professions use like a variety of weapons. Maybe consolidate them down and then over time expand on their arsenal. I think that'd be cool. Dale, where does it look like we're from? Who wears a Hawaiian shirt? Well, I guess people from Hawaii, but no, Florida. Somewhere hot. And it looks like we're on vacation. This is not the usual background. Alright, we have 4 minutes. I need to make sure I'm focused because I want to get in this door early. So this is actually the event. I have the whole thumbnail and everything ready. Scotland, oh, Scotland's beautiful. My dad and my grandpa love Scotland because they love golf, so that makes sense. Am I a Panther fan? What's are we talking hockey? If we're talking hockey, no, I'm a Lightning guy. I'm trying to think what other teams are Panthers in Florida. But this, I have the whole thumbnail and everything ready for this build in Guild Wars 2, explaining it. I just haven't pulled the trigger on making the video. I get distracted too much. If we ever rebrand our channel here, it'll be something about being ADD with games. All right, 3 minutes. Yes, hockey. Yeah. I'm a Lightning fan. So when this opens up, it'll be like a little portal. Also, if you have the beef laser, it's this with the sub. Thanks, brother. I'm surprised you chimed in on a Guild Wars stream. Where were you for Destiny? But you can join these convergences at any time if you have 50 players all in the same squad. My guild actually runs them on like Saturdays and Sundays, the days I don't stream. Yeah, brother, you missed the Destiny stream 2 days ago. We had a damn good time. Dude, brother, you gotta put those notifications on. You gotta ding my bell, you know? Alright, 2 minutes. And then we can continue yapping. Look at all these people. Look how shiny they are. Yeah. Hopefully Guild Wars 3 a little bit more tame on the glowy effects. Guild Wars 1 is very, very tame. Everything looks like handcrafted, grounded, believable, I guess you could say. Yeah, and I'm hoping... Okay, so, ooh. Also, the Coden. This is kind of what they're going to be in Guild Wars 3.
Shh, quiet.
Let me tell you a story.
Let me tell you a story.
Matchmakers will weave for centuries.
So this convergence is essentially like a retelling of a story that the bear is going through.
And I crawled to the top of Mount Valrior.
Dangerous.
And he's like telling these cubs here the story.
It is a story of allies pitted against unrelenting challenge.
Yeah. Get us in there.
The fight for survival. The tools we used to carve out legend.
Public, join. All right, we got it. Whew. Okay, we're in. Also, beautiful concept art. Great for furries, I guess. Yeah, I'm not a furry eater, don't worry. But yeah, the Coden. Sure, we're ready. This is what they're going to be basically in Guild Wars 3. This is what we have to look forward to. They are big bear people. Big bear people. Somebody has some glowy stuff on. Anyway, so convergence map here. Pretty big map. And we're going to have to split up into various objectives. And then once we do a bunch of like smaller objectives, it'll converge us, convergences, converge, on a boss. And we'll basically fight the boss. It'll hit like a certain threshold of health. It'll teleport. We'll go find it, etc. And the whole thing with this convergence is, again, it's this Coden telling the story, so they're kind of narrating in the background of what we were doing.
At the foot of the mountain.
Supply caravan? Ugh, boring.
Yeah.
And these
when
public
do we get
event
to the
versions,
exciting
very
part?
hard to fail. When you do the private ones, the squad ones, you're doing like the challenge version, which those are pretty easy if you're organized. So not very difficult. Again, either way.
They began.
But we're just clearing the area right now. Damn, we do so much damage here. This is great. I forgot how good Guardian is. We're a Guardian main now. But this is a beautiful landscape here, climbing up this mountain here. Fighting along with, you know, our entire band of people. Very cool. Not a lot of MMOs pull off, again, this large scale combat encounters with a big group. Oh yeah, we're cooking them. All the big numbers, those are ours. And again, clusterfuck of people there. We'll eventually spread out and things will be more readable.
Refusing to relent, another wave of the stranger's spawn attacked the caravan.
And there ain't no way that we're not getting mount skins that will be on said store. Because, gotta imagine, this is a beautiful mount skin here for the sky scale. It literally like transforms it. This probably made them a lot of money. Ooh, we're getting a Costco order. Wine, cottage cheese, dog food.
Yeah!
Hang on.
But do not be so quick to celebrate, small cubs. For the real challenge had only just begun. The caravan was transporting parts for a very important device. A tectonic thumper.
What does tectonic mean, Stoic Alder?
Well, you see, it's, irrelevant. Just know that this device was an essential tool in the Wayfinder's triumph over the Titan. As our intrepid band of heroes set up camp, an Astral Ward lieutenant approached the Wayfinder. Her name was Visha Foeraiser, and she was the inventor of the tectonic thumper.
You there! Stop crawling and make yourself useful!
She was rather weak.
This thumper may be up to one, but it requires concentrated
The journeyman's nostrils flared with excitement. This place was perfect for the thumper. As the Wayfinder began the essence from the thumper back to camp, Titan spawned in the shadows, the perfect moment to strike.
Look out, Wayfinder! They're gonna attack your new thumper!
That's a problem! I feel so cool.
The mountain diligently.
They're not too tough. The Wayfinder can handle that.
On their own, yes, but if allowed to grow, they can overwhelm the camp. Potential barely releasing hellish flames from its scorching. This was no mountain at all, but a volcano! Disabling the magics, preventing the Wayfinder.
Alright, we're back. You guys didn't need to hear the nonsense. Hopefully you enjoyed. Oh. First come back and I get immediately murdered. You should really get Soto for the PvE leggy armor. Yeah. There's also Did you ever grab the free, basically, gloves from doing the quick play with Fractals of the Mist? That's a free legendary glove set there. Highly recommend that. But yeah, there's a lot of chatter in and out. I knew we were going to be interrupted once, so kind of was prepared for it. That's why we didn't do Baldur's Gate today. You got the free gloves? Good, good. Always tell people to get that. But yeah, we split off over here. These other locations have their little events that people need to clear, basically almost all at the same time. So we completed ours. And because everybody's spread out, more manageable as far as the visual clutter. I think we just keep dropping off because we're like collecting these little orbs here and we're just dropping them off in the thumper. Or maybe we're not. I don't know. Let's get out of here.
Covering the mountainside like a blanket.
Like a blanket.
The mist tides.
Ooh.
Indeed.
So after we finish all these events, then we will get a boss. The big boss. Now I hope, does anybody know? So we're in the middle of Visions of Eternity. Are we getting a convergence in Visions of Eternity? Because right now we only have 2 convergences, and they all have like rotating bosses, so somewhat fresh each time, but only 2 locations at the moment. I feel like a third one, I feel like if they keep building on this system, that'd be great.
The mighty machine rattled the mountains very
And you don't know? Shit. I should know. I just don't. We'll have a third convergence in September. Awesome. I shouldn't be attacking the boss yet. We have to kill these lesser ones first, or hurt them. We're doing decent damage. But these convergences, I think these are, again, something unique that Guild Wars 2 does as far as like an MMO. And I really like them. Like they're casual, epic, give you that feeling of playing with a big party. Alright, Kronos, take care. Thanks for stopping by. We will not be on this weekend. Unfortunately. You bet I will. You bet. I'm gonna keep it on all day too. As far as next week, I don't know what the plan is. I got no idea. I know either Tuesday or Wednesday we will be back in Guild Wars 2 doing our weeklies, working on our legendary now. We need to break his break bar. It's got that break bar right down there. This is everybody needs to be using their crowd control abilities. And as soon as we break it, we'll get like a damage buff. I'm giving it all she's got. Damn, that's loud. Alright, he hits his threshold and then he kind of like fucks off to another location and we have to hunt him down. You can see there, as long as you're next to people who are running, you know, a decent build or whatever, we're going to be getting all the boons in a group setting. We're following the scent. It's like we're tracking down the Titan. That's what the boss is. I'm not sure how much I liked how they handled the Titans in Guild Wars 2. They were an enemy in Guild Wars 1. They were like this menacing force that was released that we had to like quickly handle, or else they would like destroy the world. Kind of. They seem cooler in Guild Wars 1. I guess is what I'm getting to. That one's down. There's one in the corner over here. I'm coming, brothers. And now back to the lines. So like the damage thresholds here, 75%. That's when you first move. When we get him down to 50, we'll move again. And then 25 will be his last jump. And really, I'm just staying right on the little cat symbol. There you go. You can see that I have every single buff. This is why when we went to that like testing area, you put all the boons on you because in a group setting here, you're more than likely going to have all the boons. Alright, do all of our CCs. Get that Defiance bar down. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how well our Defiance break is, but I feel like we're doing our part. It's like the Starship Troopers Confederacy propaganda. I'm doing my part. That's another great movie we didn't talk about yesterday that I should have listed. Starship Troopers. Oof. That's one of the best. I'm coming back over. I'm coming back. Now we're back on the hunt. Ooh, I'm first in line. I'm gonna find it. Oh shit! Damn, that person's zooming. All right, it's a race then. I got you. I'm in the lead now. Ooh, both high up in the air. Damn, did somebody else beat us there? They did. Huh. They must have just like went off the path and just guessed. Let's get this one down. Like they do some group mechanics here as far as like this person with the green needs to freaking stop moving because that's a stack. You want everybody to stack together inside the green. One build I need to work on with my Guardian here is a healing build. Well, that wasn't good. Somebody's picked me up. Good, yes. Give me back in action. Let me do my job. Oh my god, I'm fucking melted. Now I'm wondering in Guild Wars 3, are they gonna try to do anything like this? As far as convergence is? Or like world events, meta events, stuff like that? Or are they gonna return to more like traditional quest? Break his bar again. again, we have 50 people here. I feel like this is like probably a maximum amount of people you want on a screen as far as for like an MMO to feel like an MMO. Because you start getting up into the hundreds. First off, your poor CPU or console or whatever, it's gonna like catch on fire eventually. And so it's that balance of a lot of people on the screen, but also it has to still perform. Are we going up here? Okay. And on Steam, it actually lists the specs for Guild Wars 3 already. I think the minimum spec was like an NVIDIA like 260, which that sounds pretty reasonable. Their damage is okay. Stack on me, brothers. That's something I want them to kind of polish up is loot mechanics, and then the readability of when they succeed and don't succeed, and like if you're in it, if you're not in it. Well, consoles are... I need to get out of that circle. Consoles are pretty powerful now, as far as like the PlayStation 5 and even the... Well, the PS4 has like its own issues, but basically the consoles now, they're pretty powerful like PCs. Like, they don't have the same bottlenecks that they used to have. And so I think they'll be fine. They'll be good to go. Yeah, I have a PlayStation 5 and it runs beautifully. Come on, break the brake bar. And then once we kill this boss, that's it. That's the whole convergence. And what? It took us 21 minutes. Oh yeah, that's some good damage. There we go.
The Wayfinder sure is strong.
And then we get a bunch of rewards. Get me out of the freaking death cloud. So this is the currency that lets you basically make your next, or the legendary armor, or Soto, Secrets of the Obscure, but you also get it in Janthir Wilds. It's these Riff Essences, and you just get a boat ton from doing convergences. And you get some gold. We also got a big chest as well. These are just worth doing. And again, it took us 21 minutes. Easy peasy.
The mountains shake and titans fall. Always remember.
Only you can prevent forest fires. Kind of sounds like Smokey the Bear. Alright, we can leave here, or it can just kick us out in 1 minute, but we can look at our loot. Oh, yes. Beautiful. My Guardian has all my, like, bag space. So I'm sitting pretty with how much crap we can put in here. We just have all these random stuff that it's like, I don't want to get rid of it. I don't know if it'll be useful. We have a birthday booster. We have this. So everything we just got. We also don't need those. Right up here, essentially. Open up all these boxes. And again, just materials. Lots and lots of materials. We'll sell this for 5 gold. Actually, we'll be a little patient. And we'll sell it for 6 gold. Almost 7. And then this weekly chest. Okay, how many? Oh, it kicked us out. Yeah, it's kind of how my backspace is too. Like we'll kind of look through it and I feel like I could probably get rid of a lot of this shit. But another reason to get legendary gear is it doesn't take up inventory space as far as like armor and weapons, because it all gets filtered into your account and like on the top half right up here. So this isn't taking up any inventory spots and you can slot it in and out as you please. Whereas everything else in my inventory that we can use is all down here. That. Like I love what they did with legendary equipment in this game, where statistically it's not giving us an advantage. You can get ascended gear and it's the exact same. But convenience, it's a huge convenience boon. So I love that. Because it's like you don't need it, but if you get it, it just makes your life easier in the game. As far as if you want to try out new things to experiment with, new builds, new stat combinations, and it never gets outdated. Beautiful. Let's check our wallet real quick. I want to see how many of these essences we have. Oh god. We're like nowhere close to what we need for another legendary piece of armor. Like my buddy has like 50,000 of this red one, and then same with like the green, and then the rare version. I think we want... I'm debating what we want out of our weekly chest here. We only get 20. I guess we'll take this. We could also take this amalgamated gemstone, and this sells for a pretty penny on the market board. I don't think we're using it to... Because this is a material you use to craft some precursors and stuff, but we're not going for that generation of equipment. So I think we'll just take the essence for now. But yeah, that's a convergence. Really fun idea. Really good content for an MMO. My only gripe with it is there's only 2 locations at the moment, and we're going to get a third in December. So the idea is, hopefully, once all 3 are out, because right now the next convergence, it'll come up, looking at the map or the timer, it'll be up in another hour, which actually is not bad. But my hope for it would be there would always be a convergence that you could... Yeah, September. If I said December, my bad. But my hope for like the whole convergence system is you'll be able to hop in, you know, from one to the next, because there'll always be one going on, if that makes any sense. Kind of like how the world events work now, where if you just want to sit down and do convergences so you can grind out those rift essences to make a legendary set of armor, you could do that. You could just go from one to the next, yada yada yada. And right now you kind of, you have a lot of downtime between them. Nyan, you really don't like World vs. World? I love World vs. World, actually. It's very chill. As far as you just... Oh, okay. The one thing that World vs. World kind of relies on for kind of casual play is a commander on. If there's no commander on, it sucks. But if there is a commander, you just follow the commander, and then you get rewarded for doing whatever. We should actually pop into some World vs. World, but it depends on how well our team is doing, which looks like we're actually the dominant force, because World vs. World is... It's 3 servers pitted against each other. So the idea is one obviously dominates one server, and then the other 2 work to basically take out who's in first, and then they fight over second, or then they fight over who's going to be first, and the next one goes second, obviously. It's a really fun dynamic. It's not just one side dominating, you know, the other side. It's one side dominating, but the other 2 servers, if they work together in a way, can take down the other server. I did the actual PvP, the structured PvP. I did the legendary back piece. I never want to do PvP again. I burnt myself out on PvP when I got this sucker. And I'm a little intimidated to even jump back into PvP, like the structured PvP, because I just don't know. I don't know what's good anymore. Like the meta has changed so much that I'm like, I don't want to get my ass kicked. Well, the idea behind like legendary armor and adding it to PvE as far as like for normal people to get like in public events, it's just to make sure that no matter what facet of the game you gravitate towards, there's a way to get like a legendary set of armor. There's a way to get the best stuff. Because if it's just locked behind raids, well, that sucks because people only do PvP. People only do world versus world. So that doesn't feel good. But yeah, I like over the time, they're like, okay, world versus world, you get your own set. Casual PvE people, you get your own set. Raid people, you get your set. And then the structured PvP people, there you go. That's all, those are like the big, I would say, community bubbles within Guild Wars 2. But I think one of the strengths of the game is the fact that, say you get bored with playing world versus world, you can jump to just doing PvE. You could then just jump to doing structured PvP. There's just a lot of game variety. I did raiding when Heart of Thorns first came out. I just didn't like it very much. It's okay. Like we can do the. I actually want to jump into a raid right now. Plus, I like playing Guardian. I forgot how much I like playing Guardian. That's the thing too. I like playing Guardian. I like playing Warrior. I like playing Mesmer. I like playing Ranger. It's too many professions. Oh, a lot of people are actually advertising. That's interesting. But we'll use the quick play. I love that they added quick play, by the way, for raids and fractals. Desperately needed this. Also, the music here. This is a great map. Where you have these, I'm a sucker for highlands. But you have this river and waterfalls that's all flowing down to the ocean over there. So the map like starts up here. You get a great view of everything. And then as you work down, follow the river, it just keeps getting, you start getting closer and closer to the ocean. Very, very beautiful. And it has like the bagpipes, I think, in the background as far as the music. It's great. Yeah, they added raid quick play. It was a while ago. But it's an easier version. You still got to do mechanics though. But it's not bad. There's only a few of them that are like, oh no, not this one. I just want to make sure our shit is up to speed. Yeah, we're looking strong. Really want this to be closer to like a 3,000 power. I have like little benchmarks in my head as far as like how good should my gear be. Like this is the wrong talisman. It should be favoring power instead of precision. But now we're getting to like the min-maxi part, which we don't need to do that. The bone, I'll add you, brother. The jack, yeah, I like, so Janthe Wilds, yeah. Made the Warclaw here basically one of the best ground mounts because it's got this leap, it's faster, you got some combat abilities you can do with it. The Jackal needs to be the next one they update because the Jackal is, it's booty. It's one of my favorites too because I'm a big wolf guy, I like wolves, and it's basically like a sand wolf, but the only thing it can do is this really pathetic teleport jump. You can also interact with like sand portals, but those aren't too frequent. They're not around that much. They're like in a few maps. But yeah, this thing needs a big upgrade. Same with the hopper, the Springer. This thing has been left in the dust too. And it is very adorable. I don't know what they would do with this thing. Oh, here we go. Group's ready. Yeah, click of the button. We get to do more difficult content. Yeah! This is a good one. We have food. Do we have a sharpening stone? I don't see one. I think I have one in my inventory here. Here. There we go, a little bit more power. It really wasn't until I started getting back into the raids and stuff that I was like, okay, what's my damage looking like? And the idea is just to make sure you're not doing like really sad damage. It's like you want to be in the ballpark. And then from the ballpark you get, you play out your class fantasy for your character. Let's get in there. There's a stack. There's a spread. You know what? Those drop puddles too. So the idea is you want to take those puddles and move them away from the boss. So that way people can stay in melee range and absolutely, keep shredding them. I do think this game is very much tailored towards just everybody being stacked toward the in melee range, which kind of stinks. It doesn't feel right using like a longbow on a ranger like this close. It ruins my immersion. I think we gotta eat those before somebody or they get to the boss. Okay, we did that. Good. You would do sad damage, that's why you won't raid. I'm just gonna dodge this. There we go. Break bar. I'm giving it all she's got. Alright, and then there's a specific one we want to target first. Okay, they called it out. Good. We're gonna go for another one. We are. Nice, okay. Stay with us for boons. Oh, I'm with you, y'all. Yeah, kind of like a staple for every, I feel like, MMO and RPG. It's just like, always stack. We're actually doing a pretty good job on this guy. Bring this back. Bring it back in. And all these bosses that we're fighting, it's like, who the hell are they? They're like people you meet in the story. I will eat this one. Come here. Yum, 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 yum. And these are like the quick play version of these raids. They're kind of like the baby version, where they're not as difficult as a normal one, but it's kind of like to just get your foot in the door. Be like, okay, do I like raiding? Is this for me? You want to push it, a step further? You join a group with like the real thing. If you don't want to, that's fine. This version's not going anywhere. It's still like rewarding. Let's get out. Just don't want to hit anybody with that laser, I'm pretty sure. Okay, what's next?
Attack my target.
No, not that one. Diane, hey, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Yeah, we love Guild Wars 2 on this channel. We love Guild Wars in general. We're gonna be always playing it. At least once a week. I can say that. At least once a week we will always be jumping in. Always, always. And by killing these guys here, what we're doing is like killing these clone versions. We're stopping him from doing a certain mechanic on his real version here. So there's certain mechanics that are like nasty that we don't want to... I needed to stack better with that. I don't know why I stepped off. That was dumb. So what I'm wondering is, for Guild Wars 3, what is the pace of combat going to be? Like, even though Guild Wars 2 here is kind of like a tap-target hybrid, it's pretty fast-paced. So is there Guild Wars 3 action combat? Is that going to be even faster, or is it going to be a little bit slower? I don't think I'd want it to be any faster, I guess is what I'm trying to get to. Get out. I didn't get out very quick. I'm a bad player. Stack, stack, stack. I don't know why we got nuked there. Let's see what somebody says. Green stack, please. Yeah, the person out here was not stacking with us. That was the problem. We gotta eat these. This we can dodge. Dodge. Good. Throw my spear. Oh, we need to pick up our ally too. That's another reason why I want to make a healing build for our guardian, so I can feel like I'm doing like the paladin role. Oh, okay, we gotta back off, gotta back off. It's only 16%. Alright, stack. Everybody stack. Person's not stacking over there. Ah, they don't get it. Everybody up, everybody up. Yeah, they're gonna start yelling at him in the chat, which is, that's just part of raiding. We leave him dead, that's fine, I guess. It's kind of sad. Alright, grab. Oh no, grab it! Hurt them all, dodge this. I don't know if we're trying to pick up anybody else. Oh, nope, we need a break bar. Ow. And they healed from that too. That's nasty. We need to get rid of that. Alright, everybody stack. So look at that. We survived. Grab these ones out here so they don't get to the boss. I don't know how many of these I can eat. I've eaten 5. That's probably not good for you. Unless we're gonna dodge. Now. Resing a dead might be faster. Uh-huh. That's what a dead person would say. F you. Wow, this is turning toxic within this party. Back it up, get this thing out of there. Shit. We're dead. think we'll get up here. We'll get up some of us. Got 2 alive. Yeah, we do need a frickin'... We're gonna wipe here, but... We need everybody alive. We need everybody doing the mechanic. The stack mechanic, which is not hard. Alright, let's try to get some rest some other people. Another one's back up. Good. We're gonna bring this back. Dodge. Back in. Back to rezzing. If we all do it, it goes by really quick. It's kind of something you do in a more coordinated group is when anytime anybody goes down, you pick up. How much health is he up? Yeah, he's still at 20% because he keeps healing himself. Alright, we gotta back up. God, I think I have eaten too many of those things, so I've got too many stacks. Oh, we wiped. Well, shit. Classic, classic group here. You wipe once, immediately leaves. Really, the only thing this group needs to work on is stacking. And then we got this. And obviously this would be much, much easier in a coordinated group with like everybody on Discord and comms. You could really tell people, hey, so-and-so, you're fucking up. Come stack. Because the mechanics in Guild Wars too, as far as like challenges and like CMs and stuff, mechanics aren't tough, but they happen quickly. That's the thing, because the pace of combat in Guild Wars is pretty like, you know, snappy. Whereas something like Guild Wars, no, they don't really have too many mechanics actually in Guild Wars 1. One person can probably take out a lot of the hard bosses if you just have the right build on. But something like Final Fantasy 14, they can, like the mechanics, it's very easy to, you get a lot of time to identify them and then to execute on whatever you need to do to not die. Whereas this, it happens quickly. Hey, Mr. Butt King, what you doing, brother? Playing a little Guild Wars 2 this morning. We had some Guild Wars 3 news. As far as we got a little bit of lore. A bit of lore over why why we are going where we're going for Guild Wars 3. A little bit of work. I feel you. I don't feel you. I'm playing Guild Wars 2. I don't feel you at all, actually. I did have pizza this morning for breakfast, so I kind of, I was thinking about you. No, we don't have a release date. We have the open beta, early access, next fall. So, over a year away. But they did talk about the setting a little bit, and they also talked about how they're gonna keep releasing like these blog videos, or like little bits of news to keep the excitement going. And those should be fun. Those should be fun to cover and talk about. Eventually, God, I can't wait till they do a combat video. That'll be fun. Or just any gameplay. I'll take anything. And until then, we're just playing some. We're playing some just little GW2. We're trying to do a raid here. This party kind of fell apart. We should actually probably leave and then re-queue. I hate doing that, but am I the leader? I don't want to be the leader. We'll leave and come back. The system is still in beta, so we re-queue again. Where is my button? Buck King, do you notice the background a little different today? It's not by choice. We have one of Carrie's friends in town. Where is Raids? Oh, it's down here. That's the other thing. This looking for group. Oh my god, there's too many choices. Let's consolidate this. Let's figure out a way to make this easier to understand. I shouldn't have to scroll with all these menus. Oh no. I'm still in the office. I had to make more room in the office. So usually the backdrop is that way. That's the way the camera's facing. And right now it's this way. But when it's facing that way, the entire room gets like cut off. And it's just not efficient. It's not very welcoming, essentially. Not easy to move around. So when I put the desk and everything back against this wall, you got the whole middle area you can roam about. So did that for her. And I'll be moving it back as soon as I can. But you know, I had to fucking unplug everything as far as like the PC and all my lights and stuff, and then when you go to plug everything back in, something doesn't work or the source isn't being read anymore, and like that USB port, you're like, God. So it's kind of been a little bit of a disaster. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna collect some cauliflower. With my dog. Yeah, dig it up. While we wait for one more person. Oh, look at that. I'm a guardian, and we have 4 other guardians. Guardians are strong. They can do a lot of things. There we go. So we have 5 guardians, 2 engineers. That's the same fight too. Good. Is this the same group? I don't believe so. No. Let's get it. I'm quick heals. Look, somebody's got some. We got our different roles set up. That's the other thing. Guild Wars 3. Are they gonna have defined roles for your setup? Because the benefit of saying like, okay, I'm playing a healing spec. I'm playing a tank spec, I'm playing a DPS spec. The benefits of that is you can do a quick play system for dungeons, raids, whatever like instant content you want. And that way, at least when you go into whatever content, you have the balanced team where everybody has their roles to play out. In Guild Wars 2 though, there's no... You're free to pick whatever you want. So you could have an entire instance here where we don't have a single healer. And that makes these fights a lot more rough. Or not as cozy. Let's put it that way. So then the question is, how do you get around that? And they just kind of... They don't. They don't in this game, at least. So I'm wondering if they're going to avoid that headache with Guild Wars 3 and have you say, okay, I'm a tank, I'm a healer, I'm a DPS. Maximum damage. For the love of God, if you have the stack marker, stay stacked. Oh, we're cooking. Alright, we need to kill that target, but we gotta eat up these orbs. That's mine. Yum, 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 yum. Break bar. Dodge. Alright, what are we killing first? Somebody know. I don't know.
Attack my
That one.
target.
Got it. Come on, we gotta kill this one. There we go.
Attack my target.
I don't think we have enough time to get another one down. We're kind of slow. Could be wrong. Oh, we did get 2 of them down. Very good, very good. That's a stack. That's a stack. For the love of God, stack. Thank you. Back it up. Orbs drop. And proceed to party. Dodge the danger. My rotation right now is booty. It is not good. There we go. That was a little bit better. I'm gonna go grab this. Guess I'll grab the other one.
There's one to remember me by.
Attack my target.
Armored up.
Ah, that was a really good one. 60,000. I'm really just gauging how good I'm doing with this build right now. Is I have one ability, Rolling Wrath. This is my heavy hitter. And so if this is doing, that wasn't that good. If this is doing like above 30k for its full cast, I'm happy. Obviously more the better. But when it's down to like 20k, I did not line up everything appropriately. We're gonna soak this because we can just immediately heal ourselves back up. That wasn't good. Also, not entirely our fault because our boons, as far as might, well, you know what, that is our fault because I think we got them stripped away. Want those at 25. Okay, which one do we target? Throw our spear, put bones on. That was a good one. Decent. It was decent. Okay, that one's dead. Next. Stack. That was a good one. Where am I going? Never give me movement abilities or range abilities in a raid. I will be the person that fucks it up all the time and either pulls early, I jump off the wrong way. That was a great one. Fudge, I fell. I mean, I didn't fall, I died. Get me up, get me up. What these kind of remind me of, the strike playlist for the quick play, kind of reminds me of Trials in Final Fantasy XIV, where you go in with a group, you queue in, and it's just you versus one boss, and it takes like 7 to 10 minutes if you don't wipe. That's exactly how these are, which is great. Back it up, back it up. Keep on moving. Big arrow shots. It's okay. Doing our merry-go-round. Obviously, we want to stay out of that. And Whirling Wrath again. That was booty. So that was only 21k. Yeah, 40k there. That was beautiful. That's what you want. And really all I need to do to set it up is make sure my Hunter Spear is inside my target. It bumps up the damage by like See if it tells us. Probably not the best time to be reading our tooltips, but I think it's something like 20% more damage. It's crazy. So we got the spear set up. We're doing it again. We got full might. That was 37k. That was good. Oh, we got to get out. This team is doing much better. If you haven't noticed. We're doing the mechanics. We're getting absolutely destroyed now. Get me out of this. Get me out of this. Fudge. Yeah, this is a raid fight, but again, with the quick play here, it's been dialed back. It's not a cakewalk. I also died away from everybody, which is not ideal when you're trying to pick everybody up. But it was in Secrets of the Obscure that they added lore. There we go. We did a good job. Ah! Where they added like more lore on these demons, like the demon race. Because prior to Secrets of the Obscure, we did have these kind of like unknown enemy types. I mean, they were demons, but we didn't know where they came from. We didn't know what they were about. Kanaxai from Gw2 1. He's actually a demon. So like they're an actual thing from a different dimension. Anyways, Secrets of the Obscure give you all the lore on their race. Which is they kind of serve like the Void, where they like consume each other for more power. And then they break into this world here to consume, again, magic to stay alive. I just like their aesthetic, and then again we have these more demonic enemies. Kind of adds like a darker tone to the story. We got our weekly chest here. What did we get?
Much treasure.
Ritualist shoulder pads. How much did these sell for? 13 silver. That's not good enough. Let's... Ooh. 26 silver. See, this is something I'd rather just put an order in on it. Also, we have 6 gold waiting for us. If we had, there are convenience features like the market board that you can summon right next to you. I don't have that one. So you actually got to go to town, but going to town is literally just a click away. And I like Divinity's Reach here. 1, it's humans. 2, the trading post, the bank, everything, it's all really close together. So we can get our money there. And I can't believe how cheap this thing is. This makes me very happy. Because, let's go to how to craft this thing. Gw2. What's it called? Bitter Frost? No. Frostfang. I knew that. Frostfang. Okay. So, where is my... There we go. This is what you need to craft Frostfang. You need the precursor weapon, which we are buying on the market board for like 16 gold, which is nothing. At the launch of the game, these precursors were very expensive. And as time has gone on, and these are random drops, by the way, or they used to be. Yeah, they're a lot cheaper now. Like 16 gold, that's nothing. We also have the Gift of Frostfang, which we're gonna have to make this. Ugh. But the Gift of the Fortune, let's see, what do we need for this? So, from those legendary precursor bundles we've been buying with like the daily system in the Wizard's Vault, I have a Gift of Magic and a Gift of Might. Because these are kind of a pain in the ass. Because this is a lot of like high tier crafting system, crafting materials that you have to gather up, and they're expensive. So we've just totally circumvented basically 8 high level materials that we can actually just sell if we wanted to now, because we don't need them to make these 2 pieces. We have them ready to go. We need 250 Ectos, and we need 77 Mystic Clovers. Mystic Clovers, this is like the big pain point when it comes to crafting legendaries, because Mystic Clovers, they're very limited. there's only like a few guaranteed spots. You can get like 10 a week, 12 a week, something like that. Other than that, it's almost like RNG lottery, like a lottery that you throw items into. It's called the Mystic Toilet. Well, it's the Mystic Vault. I don't know what the hell it's called. But anyways, we all just call it the Mystic Toilet because you throw it in there, and then what you get out of it is like a percentage chance of different things. And some of the times you get a Mystic Clover. Other times you get some other shit. So getting 77 of these can be tricky and expensive. There's the Gift of Mastery, which Bloodstone Shard, that's cheap. Obsidian Shard, that's cheap. And then the Gift of Battle and Gift of Exploration, I think I already have. So I think we can craft that. So that's one piece done. Gift of Fortune. Again, Mystic Clovers are kind of holding us back. We will have the Precursor Weapon, and then the Gift of Frostfang. We'd have to make a Gift of Metal, which, okay, that's not bad. Like ore and like logs and lumber from trees. Not too bad as far as like buying, because people are always farming up those things. Gift of Ice, on the other hand. Oh, God. This is the other thing from... Let's go back to game real quick. The other thing from getting the bundle that you can get from the vault, which is this item here, the starter kit.
I'm not sure about this.
They give you the weapon, the precursor. So this is for the staff. I'm not crafting the staff, but you get the staff, the precursor, and then you also get the gift associated with that that weapon. So the gift of Bifrost. That's for the staff. If there was one for the axe that we're going for,
What is it?
in that kit, I'd get both of these things. So that's half of the legendary already ready to go for you. And that way you only have to work on the Gift of Fortune and the Gift of Mastery. But since I'm doing it from kind of scratch, I gotta worry about this as well. And this is kind of the dilemma, because it's like, if I just wait, if I'm just patient, it'll probably come into rotation, hopefully next update. And that'll save me a lot of money in gold. I gotta check, do I have a Gift of Battle ready? I do. Good. I should really organize this so I have a better idea of what I have material-wise. Because I have a Gift of Magic, I have a Gift of Might, I have the Gift of Exploration. This is from getting 100% map completion on all the core Tyria maps. You get 2 of these when you complete it on one character. So I only have 1 more left, and then I have to do it all over again, which I don't like doing it. So we got these, and then what else is really important? I think that's it. Everything else is like material based. And these are like all the materials that I've been gathering. As you can see, these are like the high level tier materials that I would be using. I don't have very many of them. Like 10 each. You need 250. Not good. Not good at all. And then these are for... We would need to get these if we're going to do it from scratch. How much do these cost? 27 silver. So I think we needed 100. So if I'm buying 100 of these, it's 28 gold. That's not bad.
I'm not sure.
That's 28 gold. That's not bad at all.
My time is
actually.
precious.
I don't know. I'd have to sit down, really map out what we're getting, because I have the obsidian shards we need. Ooh, I do have 20 mystic clovers, so we only need 57.
May Lissa aid you.
That's another component to Guild Wars 2 is you're looking at your materials, you're like, okay, what do I need? And then you go to like the wiki and kind of plan out, okay, what do I need to put together? Do I have it? And it's like a step-by-step process. That person looks pretty cool. Let's check out the Fashion Glam real quick. That's just a basic character. Probably a lot of newbies running around, actually. She looks pretty good. Asuras. The silly. You need the silly race. Anyways, I think I think that'll do it for today, though. I'd have to give up this room, but I knew today was going to be a shorter stream and interrupted at some point. But I wanted to get in here and at least talk about Guild Wars 3 and the update we got. And hopefully it becomes more of a weekly thing. And then next week, I'm thinking we'll do Guild Wars 2 at least once next week for the weekly and to yap more about Guild Wars. We'll go back to Baldur's Gate, of course. And then other than that, I got no plans. Maybe evening streams with Destiny. And those always just depend on how tired I am at the end of the day with the whole family. But yeah, I think that's it for today, guys. I hope everybody has a great weekend. And I will see you then. And don't forget to you know, get your Hawaiian shirts for next Friday, because that's like our thing now. I also have to like reorganize this room too, so we gotta do all those things. But King, we might be playing some video games this weekend. Dealer's choice. I could try to convince you to play some Destiny, or we could do some more Gw2s and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll hit you up. I'm gonna go get some other things. DeBone, hey man, I'm glad you found us. We're very chill around here, and we like to have a good time. We like try not to take things too seriously. I know during the boss fights and stuff, I'm talking about damage and yada yada yada, but what we always like to do is make sure we get to Eddie. Thank you for the follow, brother. Well, what we like to really just try to do is make sure we're in the ballpark as far as whatever damage thresholds you need to be making. And then from there we make like fun builds. As far as like, they have like a certain role, maybe a certain aesthetic, class fantasy. That's kind of the aim for the channel and our vibe. Oh! Beef Laser cheered 2 bits. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what bits are. I don't know what bits do. But thank you. Now we have 2 of them. Beef, I guess, yeah, you're on the docket too, brother, for some weekend gaming. I think they're internet pennies. Good. I like that. Alright guys, have a good weekend, and I will see you next week for some other video games. Out of town? Come on, Beef, what are you busy? Also on the YouTube side, don't forget to like the video. I gotta start saying that more. It really does help out the algorithm. So if you're still here and you're on YouTube, smash that like button. Twitch side, you just keep doing you, I guess. That works.